Guys, actually, I'm so happy I have this set up here because the mic is gonna be a lot better. I'm also live on YouTube, you guys, so you can see anything that I'm reading. It's gonna be over there. Um, and give me one second, I'm gonna shut the door. Okay. Okay. So I am also live on YouTube, so you can see everything that I'm reading. You can also see my haunted doll behind me if you're on YouTube. So I'm gonna read this. Okay. Do believers like ghost hunting YouTube videos? So I'm a skeptic, but I have been watching a lot of paranormal shows and YouTubers lately. And sometimes I think it's mostly the YouTubers, are kind of rude. Like if I were a ghost and I was haunting my house, some guy's coming yelling, "Oh my god, bro!" Oh, every time the floor creaked, I probably wouldn't talk to them either. It gets even worse when it's places like prisons or insane asylums. Like any ghost, there probably didn't have a happy life or had a bad time in the building. So I don't know if I feel like there are places that need to be treated delicately, and when they do go screaming and shouting, it always makes me feel uncomfortable. In some videos, they even call out specific prisoners or patients, like I saw one in an insane asylum where they called the ghost out asking if they were crazy and theorizing about their death in the room they supposedly haunted. Imagine having to listen to that. That's actually a really good point. So when I did the Halloween special last year, for, Spirit Squad, that was one of the things that I had a conversation about was, like, I'm gonna go into this space, but I don't wanna be, like, rude or anything, and I always say that. I feel like whenever you go to a haunted house, you wanna treat them with respect. They're literally like us without the meat suit, so, yeah, I don't know. I would if I was a spirit and people were, like, freaking out about everything, I would be annoyed. Also, have you drank your water yet? Stay hydrated. I do too, Amy. Do you own any cat? This. Alright, I'm gonna go to the next story. Um, this one is called "Did My Deceased Mother Visit Me in My Dream?" My mother passed away unexpectedly almost a year ago. She and I have always had a complex and difficult relationship. By the way, she was a narcissist. But I miss her desperately. Despite her flaws, I loved her with all my heart and only ever wanted the best for her. All that aside, her death has left me incredibly messed up. I have had dreams about her before, but I have I have had dreams about her before, but up until now, they have been us performing every day. Mundane tasks like shopping or terrifying, surreal dreams. Um, I dreamed I dreamed I was sleeping in her ashes. This particular dream has stood out to me because of how realistic it was, and it took me to my place in my own home. Typically, when my dreams include my home, it's not actually my home at all, just what the story of my dream has dedicated to be. Anyway, my mom and I were actually home talking, and she was telling me how proud she was of me and the way I was handling things. We talked about my child and how excited she was to see them grow up. And then we moved down my hallway and I opened the door for her to the guest bedroom so she could see the kitties. The dream ended up with her bending down to love on both of her kitties and thanking me for taking such good care of them. They are in our guest bedroom because they do not get along with our other own original pair of kitties. So they take turns spending time with the family. Well, anyway, I woke up feeling somehow comforted. Does anyone else have experiences with this sort of thing? I'm not sure what to make of this dream. Was my mom really visiting me, and did I have an out of body experience with her spirit? Your answers are truly appreciated. Well, okay, so here's the thing. I do believe that you can have people visit you in your dreams. I have actually a really interesting story that I've never told. So this is about my sister. So my sister is a dreamer. She's had dreams of I've shared this on a few lives where she had a premonition in her dream that her friend's dad or grandfather was going to pass away. And she told her friend in high school. And then it turns out about a week later that that person passed away in a car accident. So I do think that you can have premonitions. I do think that people can come visit you in your dreams. And in this one in particular, so a while ago, when I lived in Denver, Colorado, I actually was going to close in on a house that I really liked. And it gets really eerie, you guys, because my birthday is the 16th of October. And the house that I had been looking at with my husband um, was this beautiful house down the street from where I wanted to live. And I ended up doing some digging into this house. And I found out that the original owner had passed away and he had the same birthday as me. Okay. Now, I wasn't really like breaking the news to anybody at the time because like we didn't know if we were gonna close in on this house, and so I didn't want to like say anything and jinx it. But anyway, after that, my sister calls me like about a day later, and she's like, "Hey, I had this really weird dream with you in it. I had a dream that you were looking at this house," and she started describing things that I remembered seeing in this house. And she's like, "And I saw this old man, and like it was like." I shouldn't be there. Like he was very protective of this house. And I was like, that's really weird. And needless to say, about a week later, we ended up not getting the house because somebody else came in with a better offer with cash. But it's just really weird how like this person had the same birthday as me. And then my sister has a dream about this man and she didn't know anything about it. And I do believe that this was like a sign of like the guy visiting her and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, that's my interesting story. I'm going to upvote this story because I do think that the deceased can visit you in your dreams. If you guys have any stories too, feel free to share them. Um, but yeah, okay. This dream here, okay, this is might be an interesting thread. It says, has anyone ever seen a quote unquote an unconventional ghost? It is, yes, Gigi is right there. So this person is asking, has anyone seen any unconventional ghosts? Perhaps someone that is in a wheelchair or anything that is different from the norm that is being reported. And that's a really good question. I remember reading on here. Okay, I'm going to read this one. So I'm going to be very careful with how I read this one because we want to be very, very nice about terminologies. Hi, Chris. Hi, Albie. If you guys are not sure, I'm actually on YouTube live. So if you do join me on YouTube, you can see my haunted doll. You can also see what I'm reading. And if you want to, no pressure. Just wanted to point that out. Okay, so this is from the Hungry Pilot. That's the user. So in 2005, I was moving from Las Vegas to back east. I stopped off in Tombstone, Arizona. Oh my God, I've been to Tombstone, Arizona. Anyway, for a night on the way, and I was having trouble sleeping that evening and took a stroll at around 3 a.m. It was chilly and a little foggy. If you've ever been there, you'll notice one, every local is in costume, and two, the sidewalks are the wooden platforms. The sounds echo off those, and I was wearing running shoes, and my footsteps would echo against the wood. So I walked all over the historic district, coming up on Allen Street, and I crossed Fourth and head towards the Fifth. I was on the south side of the street, and I saw ahead of me a figure in a period dress and 60 feet out. It was tall, dressed in dark pants, a frock coat, a white shirt, and an older style hat. It had cowboy hats, but by the way, cowboy hats were not invented in the 1880s, by the way. So I didn't see any boots, indicating that the pants on the outside of the boots, anyway, common for in-town folks not on horseback. Walking with a district limp and carrying a cane, he was using it. I could make out his face or see the feet. It was obviously night, but there are streetlights, and he had no sounds as he walked. No thud of his steps, no sound of the cane, no scrape on the wood. It was just silent. He approached a store that sold ice cream, took out his watch, check the time, shrugged, turned, and walked through the door. I thought it was odd until I got to the store. Number one, there are no lights. Number two, no trace. And number three, the screen door swung out, like out, not in. So he had to have literally walked through. The whole incident lasted about 45 seconds. I thought it was odd, but it wasn't until 2008 that I returned and got chills. Talking to a local, he talked about the fourth Earp brother that ran hookers above what was then a barber shop in 2008 on an ice cream shop store. He would check on the girls at night and wrapped up around 3 a.m. Oh, he was also civil. He was a civil vet hit in the leg and had a severe limp, which is why he didn't get involved in the Earp Clempet fight. Without prompting, the fellow mentioned folks seen him late at night. I generally discount I generally discount ghosts of celebrities, but I say discounts. Call this BS if you want. Those are just the facts. That's interesting. So apparently this might have been a different ghost, is what they're saying. Okay. All right. We'll upload this. If I can upload this comment. You know what's interesting? So when I went to New Orleans back in 2000, I think it was like 2017. Yeah, 2017, I'd gone to New Orleans, and there was this. So we had to do this like group investigation, and it was behind a voodoo shop. And the story goes is that there was a spirit in the guest room, first floor, and it he was the owner's friend from like the 90s or something like that. So I guess like there are stories of modern ghosts, but I think that like most like a lot of these like mainstream ghost stories are mainstream because usually they're like attached to like a historic place. Like for example, the Stanley Hotel. Stanley Hotel is in Colorado. There was a book written on it. Stephen King wrote a book on it, movies on it, and so I think those are the stories that get told because then they get pushed out there. But you don't really hear more of like the modern stories. They exist, but I don't think they get pushed out as much as like these older period ghosts, if that makes sense. And I do, yes, Delphina, I do think that kids can see spirits. Hi, Chris. Yeah, so I am going to be going out of town a few different times this month for Halloween. So, yes, I'm trying to go to some haunted places and stuff like that. So, stay tuned. Thanks for asking. Okay, let me go back. Um, that one. Keep going. I am on a Reddit thread, you guys, but if you guys want to see what I'm reading or looking at, feel free to join me on the YouTube side. If not, no worries. Yeah, so I got I'm getting paid to go to one of the trips, so I'm excited to make that announcement later on. Um, the Stanley Hotel, yeah, it does exist. It's in Colorado. A lot of these are more questions on the thread tonight and videos. Okay, never mind. We got a story. We got a story. Okay, so this one is I think I'm seeing hearing ghosts everywhere I go, and it's starting to creep me out. So my family has had a huge history with ghosts. I was told numerous times, seeing the dead runs in the family. My aunt is living proof of that, but I've never fully believed her. Some weird stuff that has been happening to me has changed my opinion though. About a month ago, I started hearing voices. It started off as my name being said by random people, but it's evolved into sentences. I can't really have a conversation with the voices though, as I never hear anything after I ask who's there and such. So that's been cool and all, but now I'm seeing people. Again, it started really lightly. I was just seeing people on the corner of my eye and I would brush it off. At the time, I was thinking my eyes were playing tricks on me, but after today, I'm now scared to keep my eyes open. I was chilling at my computer after school and making some music, and then I saw a person that looked like a shadow walking. I was thinking it was one of those things where it just disappears when I look at it, but no. I turned my head and it was still there for a whole second. It was just there walking. My eyes were even not locking on it. I just wanted to share this with people. Have never even haven't even creepier experience that happened when I was 11, but this post is getting so long, so if you wanna hear it, I'll reply to a comment asking for it. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, I don't know, like, this I mean, some people think that it might be, like, mental health, but it's like, you can see Mickey if you are on my YouTube. So on the YouTube side, Mickey is right behind me if you guys wanna check that out. I'm also sharing the screen where I'm reading the scary stories on there. If you wanna check that out, feel free. But yeah. Okay, so I don't think that that's mental. I mean, I can see why people would think that's mental illness, but I don't know what to say. Ghost caught Okay, no, if you're on the YouTube side, you can see this picture. I'll just zoom in. So there's a ghost on camera at the Hawthorne Hotel in Salem. It doesn't have any upvotes, but let's zoom in, you guys. Okay, so there's a person there. You can probably see this, Chris or Albie. Um, no wonder it got a down vote. Okay. Oh, okay. Do you see that? That looks like what was the king from Game of Thrones? From like the White Walker? I don't know what I'm talking about. What's his name? But that's what that looks like here. I don't know. Should I zoom in closer? I'm gonna zoom in closer. Oops. Do you see that? I don't know if you guys can see that. Anyway, let's keep going. I'm gonna try to find another story. There's a lot of pictures on the thread tonight. Oh, yeah, I'm not a orb person. Okay, here we go. Here's another story. Before we get into that, Mickey's calling now to your dreams. What is he saying? I mean, I'm always looking forward. Oh, hi, Chris. Thank you. By the way, even when Halloween is over. Yeah, I know. I feel like I always live Halloween year round, so so I know it's probably this is what this user said. I know it's probably nothing, but I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched in my apartment. Oops, let me or I mess up my mouse. Okay. So for context, I used to live in a house in Arizona. We have a lot of Arizona stories tonight. I believe to be haunted by a little girl. Late at night, when my son was asleep, wife at work, and myself in my home office, I would hear a little girl giggle every now and then. I would sometimes hear footsteps in the attic, but there was no room to move around as it is mostly a HVAC up there and very little open space. There's also what sounded like walking in the hallway. I had to get up and make sure my son was still in bed, and he always was. I actually saw her once. As I was working, I saw what looked like a child walk past my office door. And on top of that, my son would tell my wife and I about the girl in his closet. Never caught it on camera, but I did catch an orb once. But I don't personally subscribe to the every orb is a ghost thing. Anyway, I always felt like as if it was something watching me, especially in the hallway and in my office and in my son's room. Fast forward a year and a half, I now live in a small apartment in Texas. I lived in the apartment since June of 2022. At first, everything was fine. However, over the last 9 months or so, I have begun to have these feelings that there is a presence in my apartment. Oh, by the way, can you guys hear me all right on the YouTube side? However, over the last 9 months or so, I've begun to have these feelings that there's a presence in my apartment. Every now and then, when my wife is at work, my son is in bed, and I'm working, I feel like someone is watching me. On my nights off, I will sometimes hear noises in the hallway, tapping, and even shuffling. It could be explained that my son is shifting in his bed or that the ceiling fan is shaking, but I know where the sound is coming from. It's the hallway. The eerie feeling in the hallway that and in my son's room have returned as well. Like I said, I know it's probably nothing, but it's eerie. I'm not scared of it, but I can't shake the feeling that the little girl has followed us. If you're wondering, yes, if you're wondering, my son does still talk about a person, but it's not a girl anymore. It's just a person in his closet. I see him talking to himself, sometimes while looking towards the closet and even gesturing towards it. Hi, Rice. Chris says, "I need to just seems like around." That's Yeah, no, I hear you. I feel like there's a lot of spooky content in hol like, around October. Um, no, I always do scary content, like spooky, ghost, paranormal content. I love that stuff. Um, yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm gonna upvote it. I think it's very possible for spirits, especially if they've grown fond of you, to wanna follow you somewhere else, but in this one, I'm kinda curious to see why it jumped from one house to house. I don't know. I don't know. Good question. Okay, I'm gonna read on to the next story. But yeah, I can definitely see that. Okay. This one's called "The Entity That Has Haunted Me for Years Has Returned." So I used to post here under a different account. I forgot my login and then it locked myself out. That aside, things quiet down after my last post here until today. I was taking a shower and the only one home. About midway through, I heard tapping on the mirror. I poked my head out of the curtain to confirm what I knew. I was alone. I ducked back in and it resumed. It was then I had the overwhelming urge to speak out loud and invite the spirit slash demon in. I had to fight and force myself to shout, "Go away." The bathroom door locked, but nothing else happened. I immediately exited the shower and looked around my house. Sure enough, still alone. I'm kind of creeped out right now. Wait a minute. So they said that they invited something in. Let me see what they're using. It's unstoppable. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, but why would they? That seems a little bit over the top. Um, yeah, Chris, it did take me a while for me to go live and do the scary story stuff. For context, my one of my dogs recently passed away due to cancer. And so that's why I wasn't really like going live or posting a lot. And I know that October is one of my favorite months. And I've been trying to push through all of the stuff that's been happening. And I'm taking it little by little, and I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be live. I'm glad to make videos again. And I really can't thank the people that, really um, were following what was happening and supporting and sharing my post about my dog having cancer. I don't mean to make this sappy, but uh, literally, thank you guys so much for those of you that were, being supportive in any way. And this month, I have some great paid opportunities to also help the stuff with my dog who had cancer. So he recently passed away. If you guys are curious, he passed away um, about last Sunday. And yeah, I'm just taking it day by day. So yeah, I don't want to wait long to do lives, but I had to take some time for myself. But yeah, thank you for asking, Chris. I'll try to go live more, um, especially since I'm doing a couple of paid opportunities this month. Okay, cool. All right, so this one is called "Should We Open a Portal?" Oh my god, some of these posts are getting a little bit outlandish. So this one is "Should we open a portal to hell in our barn?" Every year, my family hosts a pretty epic Halloween party, and they host around 100 to 150 guests, varying ages, and we turn our barn into a haunted house. We do different themes every year, and this year, with the new Exorcist movie coming out and The Nun 2, we were thinking about theming it on demons, possessions, and portal to hell. I'm not Christian or a religious person, but I'm pagan and believe in ghosts and spirits. My partner is an atheist or a Satanist. He is super stoked about the idea, and I'm not going to lie, partially terrified about opening an actual portal to hell through a barn. Haha. My biggest concern is using a Ouija board as a prop. I'm thinking of getting and get making an animatronic board so people won't be actually using it or touching it. But it still kinda skeeves me out. What say you Reddit hive mind? Is this a terrible idea? Are we asking to open our house up to haunted evil entities? Our backup idea is a gory Barbie themed dance party. We were much less excited about that idea, but it feels much safer. Okay, so here's my thing with that. So I find this a really interesting topic here because hi, happy spooky month, Sydney, and I'm reading scary stories, Nick. Okay, so what I will say is as somebody who is a psychic medium, who's paranormal investigated, who's read plenty of these stories to you guys, who's heard your stories as well, and has also read about things that happen on set, like on the Conjuring set, which, in this case, The Nun 2 is part of the Conjuring universe. Had to have people come in and bless sets. Um, they've had actors have turn up with weird illnesses while shooting the movie, and then after the movie was done being filmed, all of a sudden they get better. Like, there's all kinds of strange stuff has happened, and even in the Exorcist movie, the original one, weird stuff happened. Some of these movies, whether people think believe it or not, the reality is that there's actually on record weird things have happened on some of these movies, like The Exorcist and the Conjuring franchise. So I see why they're asking this question. I personally think they're at least if they're not opening up a portal to hell, they're manifesting something. So, nonetheless, um, yeah, that's just what I think. Someone says, "Sounds good. If you don't report back after the party with what happened, we shall all assume the worst happened and not to do that again. Thank you for your service to humanity." I'm sorry, but that was kinda funny. Thank you for the follow. Um, and also, if you guys are joining me on here on TikTok, also be aware that I am reading Reddit stories on the YouTube side. You can see everything I'm reading, everything that I'm seeing. You can also see my haunted doll behind me. And yeah, that's it. All right. That was great. That was a great comment. Nonetheless, oh my god, that was great. Thank you, Albie. I okay, so that's another thing. So I knew somebody that they had an opportunity to go visit where The Nun 2 was filmed in France. And the church that they filmed at is haunted. And I think they might have also done a blessing for that one too, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe I can do like a deep dive on that since we're all talking about it. Okay. So this one is I think my dog gets in bed each night. My husband thinks I'm crazy. Okay. Interesting title to begin with. On immobile, sorry for bad formatting. My dog developed a fast growing cancer during the holidays in 2021. We had no other option based on his age, health to put him down right before New Year's. He always used to sleep in bed with me, and I would always know it was him getting on the bed by the way my legs would dip as he put his weight on the mattress. Lately, I'm feeling his this happen at night a lot. I told my husband and he thinks I am crazy, and I think my dog could still be chilling at the foot of my bed each night. Um, I recently shared a story. It's on my TikTok channel. That I was basically like I went around in Midsummer Scream and I interviewed people, and there's a person that talked about how they would feel their dog also on the bed with them after their dog had passed away. Ironically, I just got done telling you guys about my dog, and then we read the story. So I believe that pets can stay with us for a certain amount of time, check in on us, even after they've passed. But I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that. Let me know. Okay, let me go back. What is this creepy image? Do you see that? I don't see anything on this. Okay. My son took this photo. It's not a ghost, it's a trickery. Oh, yeah, like, yeah, that's nothing. Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. This one is getting less votes. I just saw that go from 12 to 9. So no, I'm not gonna read that one. Okay. My wife's childhood home, spirit activity. So about 18 years ago, when I just started dating my wife, we went down to London to visit her dad. We had just come back from meal, and our dog was being a little friendly with my leg. So I went to lay down in the bedroom, and as I was laying down, I thought I saw a figure go past the mirror out of the corner of my eye. Now this made me jump. Um, I got up to tell my wife about it. She thought it might have been the spirit of her deceased mother. So she asked out loud if it was her, and then all the lights in the flat flickered on and off for a couple of minutes. Okay, that's interesting. Actually, this reminds me, and I don't know what you guys think about this, but I've been thinking about doing skits from my psychic development stuff and like readings that I've done in the past. But anyway, besides that, I we did a psychic development yesterday, and in the circle, there was somebody that was picking up a message and was, like, confirming to this lady that her deceased husband was in the circle, and as, like, he was confirming, like, the name and stuff, we heard, like, tapping on the wall, and we were on the 2nd floor, there's nobody next door or anything like that, it's not like you know what I mean? We were on the main floor, there were no doors, it was, like, tapping, and it was on the side that is not attached to a room or anything like that. So, that's interesting. Anyway, thought I'd share that story. So this one is called "I Believe My Dad Let Me Know He Was Still Around After He Died." And can you guys hear me all right on the YouTube side? Please let me know. I hope the audio is good. Let me just edit it. No. Let me know. Hopefully the audio is good. I've been I've noticed that I know I want to make sure the audio is good. I know that when I don't use the mic on the YouTube side, the audio quality is so bad. Please let me know. I hope I sound pretty good on here. I do, Chris. Yeah, I live stream on TikTok. I'm actually on TikTok, live streaming on TikTok, but can you hear me all right on the YouTube side? Okay. All right. So this one is called I Believe My Dad Let Me Know He Was Still Around After He Died. So this may sound weird, but here goes. When my dad was dying of lung cancer in June of 2009, he was living with me before hospice. For dinner one night, I mixed blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries in a bowl and topped it with vanilla yogurt. My dad, born June 20th of 1943, refused to eat the berry dish. After a couple minutes, he started to try it and loved it. He asked if I could make it again. About 8 months after he died, I made this dish again. My kids and I were eating, and a breeze came through the dining area. It moved my hair, the windows, and the French doors all closed. It was dark outside. I believe to this day it was my dad. I know no one will believe me. It's interesting. I mean, I wish they would add more detail, but thank you, Chris. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because like there's not enough details on this, but um yeah, okay. So someone says first-hand experiences are for yourself. If you believe it, then it is true for you. Science or skeptics can't really disprove that aspect. Just can't be objectively used to prove ghosts. That's fine. My dad said he knew his dad was around when he smelled pickles. His dad used to work at a pickle factory, and you can't tell him otherwise, and it makes him happy. He thinks his dad is watching out for him. Thank you for sharing the story. Yeah, I mean, I see their point there. Okay, I'm just gonna upvote that, and I'm gonna move on to the next one. Okay, keep going. All right, so this one is longer. It's called Unreal Experience While Sleeping and Recording. Um, some months ago, after a night out, I came home around 2 a.m. because I knew I had some difficulty sleeping while being tipsy and drunk. I thought, let's voice record myself while I'm sleeping. It was the first night of sleep recording ever. The next morning, I woke up, and after some hours, I listened back to the full recording. At the time, I didn't use any sleep recording apps. I didn't even know they existed at that time. The recording was done on the voice recording app reinstalled on my phone, and the recording showed some loud sounds while scrolling through around the 6-hour mark. So after 6 hours of sleeping, the sound increased to the loudest sounds possible for multiple seconds. So there's going to be a recording. So I listened to it. At the time listening to the voice recording, I was alone and could not comprehend what had just happened to me. In total, there was 1 minute and 35 seconds of unexplained sounds with a gap of 35 seconds of nothing in between. On the recording, I heard loud screaming, a big one at the beginning, multiple ticks, external voices, loud screams, and weird static noises, and loud breathing. I'm not sure if it's me. The recorder doesn't show it. After the recording, I slept for another full hour, unbelievable because I'm a light sleeper and wake up with the smallest light of sounds. So listening to the recording, I can say now it changed my life. Just three close friends have heard the recording, and two of them never want to hear or talk about it with me again. And the third one just can't explain, but says there has to be a logical explanation. The most logical explanation he could give me was a phone bug. Totally unrealistic for me, obviously, as 9 out of 10 nights I put my phone in my in plane mode because I had some drinks at night. I couldn't remember if I did it that night. Just to be clear, I live by myself and there was nobody else in the house. The phone was in the charger next to my bed and my room, and it's possible for people to be making those noises. The recording is tough to listen because it's such a short time. There is a lot of unreal activity going on. Um, I know that it is difficult to debunk these kind of experiences. For me, the only thing I want from this is just connecting me with the right people and understand it better. I did the post recording on another Reddit page, but I didn't catch on. Maybe this will help. This is the first time writing down fully what happened. It feels good. I'm not the same person I was before. The happy birthday is clear in the recording, but it doesn't make any sense. It also wasn't my birthday. At the end of the recording, you'll hear loud breathing, but it does not show in the sound pattern. I don't know if we should listen to it. There's a link to it. I don't know if we should listen to it. It says warning, not for sensitive viewers. Uh, the okay, so let's see what the people in the comments. So the comments are saying, sounds in the could be you mumbling in your sleep, but after the gap, those noises are odd. All the rustling, and you said your phone was on the floor. It's very interesting. Um, Someone says, "What the hell, dude? Get a recordable baby monitor for your room so you can see what's happening. That is messed up." I believe you did most noises in your sleep. The loud part sounds to me like some radio interference, though they are very creepy. And I mean, happy birthday and baby screams. Um, if this is genuine and you're really worried, you should find an infrared camera and record yourself sleeping. Okay, let's see. I don't know if I want to listen to it. Or should we listen to it? Okay, let me pause the music. I don't know if I want to. Are we ready to listen to this? All right, we're gonna listen to this. I can't even hear anything. Can you guys hear it? There's like nothing. I can't hear anything. Hold on, we're about to hear something. Okay, it's about habit. Can you guys hear that? Can you hear that? Was that it? So we heard, like, the happy birthday and then, like, some of the kids screaming or something like that. Should we listen to it again? Let's listen to it again. Okay, I'm gonna replay it again. I don't know if you guys can hear anything on the YouTube side, please let me know. I have it as loud as I can. Okay, so we heard the first sound, and then there's, like, a gap that does nothing happens, and then, there's just silence. I think we're gonna have to make a couple more seconds. Like there, here we go. I don't know what that could be. Alright, that was creepy. I will admit that was kinda creepy, but I don't it sounds like an interference, I don't know. Yeah, it just I don't know what that could have been. Um, so Chris says, "So YouTube is a channel where you do, like, paranormal locations and" Yeah, so I'm currently in the middle we're currently in the middle of editing footage from the fire station. I went to a fire station and went to investigate out there in Colorado. We're in the middle of editing that, and then I'm gonna try to post that over on my YouTube side, and, yeah, so I have a couple of things there. I'm also gonna be posting a video that's off topic. It's, again, about my dog and what happened and all that. But, yes. Have I been to Halloween Horror Nights? No, I've never been to Horror Nights. I wanna go, but I'm also a scaredy cat, so surprisingly. Like, I love paranormal things, but, like, like the dressed up haunted maze and stuff like that does scare me. I don't know what that was. I don't know, did anyone think what that could have been? Like, that weird sound? I don't know what that could have been. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, yeah, this one, the ghost caught on the stream. I have to upvote that. I made a video on that if you haven't seen it, where, like, these guys are, like, streaming, and then, like, someone just, like, walks behind him, and their friends are, like, freaking out. I made a video on that, so you can check it out on there. See. Okay, so this one is called Not Sure If This Fits Here, but when my dad passed, something weird happened. Hi, everyone. My dad passed away in April. Something weird happened the morning of. For the majority of my life, I've slept with my phone on silent. The screen is facing down and under my pillow because I hate being woken up and startled with a loud alarm during the week. The pillow muffles the sound, and the phone being upside down prevents any light from the screen bothering me as well. The morning my dad passed away, I was woken up by my phone playing music on YouTube. The weird part was that the song that was playing was ironically called Ghost by Justin Bieber, which is saved in one of my playlists, and that's where the song was played from. I never paid attention to the lyrics of that song. I just liked the way it sounded. Within 30 seconds of turning the phone off, my aunt called me to tell me he had just passed. It's a coincidence, or perhaps my dad saying goodbye. I've sort of dismissed it as a coincidence, but to this day, I can't listen to that song, and I don't think he even knew who Justin Bieber was without and I can't listen to it without feeling sad. Now, that's interesting. I think okay, so here's the thing. I so at my psychic development circle, I had a client there, a student there, and she a lot like this is her first time at the circle, but everything came to her through music. And I always tell people that messages, whether you're receiving it as like a psychic or whether you're talking to a deceased person, are some of our senses, depending on which one we're attuned to, it can come in a form of music. And I think that if he may not know who Justin Bieber is, but it is a weird coincidence that it is Ghost. And part of me feels like maybe that's how they knew that they might get the message. Might be another way too. I don't know. Or could it be a weird coincidence? I don't know. Hi, dyslexic duck. Hi, thank you. Yeah, I'm back. I like I was saying earlier, I don't mean to repeat myself, um but I so my dog died from cancer. I had to put me and my husband had to put my dog down, our dog down, a week ago. And so and prior to that, uh, just in general, dealing with a dog that's sick, it took a lot. So I haven't been making as much content. I haven't been streaming as much, but I think I'm in a place now where I'm slowly like feeling like myself a little bit. I still have my moments, not gonna lie. I'm gonna be posting a video on YouTube, very off topic from what I normally do. I don't I know I do a lot of scary story times and paranormal stuff, but I'm posting what that diagnosis was like for my dog, and hopefully it can save a pet owner and a pet. Um, don't mean to change the subject too much, but it was hard, and I think I'm really grateful for all the support that I had from people. So I see some of the people on this live who shared my post on Instagram and commented on TikTok. So I really appreciate you guys. And I started a GoFundMe, and that was so helpful. I'm grateful for you guys who donated and everything. And it was hard because I did not wanna do a GoFundMe, but I had, people reach out to me and they're like, "Hey, you should start a GoFundMe." And I did, and, alone just to diagnose for my dog to get diagnosis for cancer, I had to spend 5 grand, and, that was not fun. I'm not I've removed the links on my stuff. My GoFundMe, I paused it for now because I don't what little help I got, I appreciate it because well, actually, it was a lot not little, it was a lot of help, and, so, yeah, that's one thing, and it was hard because so here's another random fact. If you guys do D23 events, like Disney stuff, like, I love Disney stuff, right? Like, I do. Um, and a while ago, I was like, "You know what? My birthday's in October, so I've always wanted to go to Salem, and I can make content for you guys and do little fun facts out there." And so I got tickets, to go to Salem, and Disney did not wanna refund my stuff, so it's like, in a way, I kinda have to go because it's like, otherwise I'm out of they're not refunding me. It was a lot that I spent, so it was really crappy on that end of things. Because like, if Disney makes a lot of money and then they can't refund people things, like, that upset me. Um, and then I'm also leaving town later this month for a paid opportunity, and I'm really excited to share that with you guys later in the next couple mo weeks. But yeah, thank you so much for the condolences, and I don't mean to make this into, like, a sappy moment, but I just wanted to be honest about, like, um what's been going on in my life and being transparent with that. And yeah, so that's what happened. Star Star Deb says, when dad passed, he made my water bottle make loud noises. He always crumpled his bottle and I knew he was okay. Oh, I love that. I love when like loved ones give you messages on like what's happened. Oh, thank you, Chris. Maybe, I don't know. That's okay though. I'm glad I found you in your channel, Stephanie, although it was dude. That's okay. I love Brittany, she's great. Okay, so that I'm gonna put that I think it was a sign, that's what I think. And then people in the comment section, they're also saying they believe also it was a communication. Okay. This one is called The Most Frightening Paranormal Experience I've Ever Had. This is my scariest paranormal experience I've ever had, and then thinking about it cheaply still puts me on edge. So I was 15 years old, and I'd gone to this camp since I was 10 years old. It was a Christian camp that my family attended every summer. As cliche as it sounds, it started with a dream. My dreams are normally never in first person. So I was very confused when I was seeing out of my own perspective, knowing it was me. Oh my God, I've had these dreams. Anyway, I suddenly heard a powerful voice. Um, Actually, I think I went ahead. So I was really confused when I was seeing okay. I looked around and the sky was red with shadows rolling across the sky. I was in a hilly area all red. I was just standing in the middle of this strange field. I knew I wasn't in reality. I suddenly heard a powerful voice. This voice is indescribable. It held so much power. It was old, ancient, unlike anything a human could produce. I stiffened, feeling all my hair standing, and the voice called out again, "Cut off your toes." It repeated a mantra until I finally spoke up. "You want me to do that?" And then it says, "Cut off your toes." And then I said, "Are you God?" So at the time I was Christian. I had heard of the story of Abraham and God asking him to sacrifice his son to prove his faith in God. The voice hesitated slightly, prove your faith to me, cut off your toes. I was a little confused, but asked how to do it. It showed me a cleaver in a spot in the kitchen that I'd never been in. It showed me exactly where it was, and it showed a vision of me grabbing the cleaver, taking it to the stump, and cutting my toes off under the moonlight. I was completely convinced, and it made sense. I would wake up and cut off my toes. God was testing my faith. Okay, this is kind of getting like all kinds of religious, but okay. I heard barking in the real world and I began to stir. The voice told me no, frantically, but I was awake. It was completely dark, and I remember thinking, perfect, it's dark. I can sneak out and cut off my toes. What the heck? I could still hear the barking, so I sat up and these shadows flew off my face. The room was red like my dream, and the shadows flew across the cabin, and I looked around disoriented. My dog was hunched, snarling. He was staring at the corner. I've never seen a dog so ferocious. All his hair was standing up. I looked at the corner he pointed at. It was a twisted, old, gnarly tree. The energy this thing emitted was so overpowering. I was already scared and bewildered, but when I looked into its eyes, I genuinely thought I was about to die. I began to cry. I saw myself dying, being over, taken by it. I saw myself in a void locked for eternity. When I looked at me, my dog snarled again, lunging slightly and using his body to be in between us. The old tree looked at my dog, and every time it looked at me, my dog growled and snarled. Okay, this is becoming like a whole thing that I don't know if I want to read all the way. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna move on because it gets a little bit meh. Sorry, guys. Okay, wait a minute. Civil War ghost on a great Photoshop job. Got a picture of a ghost on my game cam. We checked it over the weekend for hogs. Date is wrong, and this is what we got. I said it looks like a soldier, and someone said it was a pirate. What do you think? Oh, so if you're on my YouTube side, you can see what the image is. Um, do you I don't know, Chris. What do you think? I could see it being a soldier, but it could also just be like a weird reflection from the camera. I don't know. We'll upvote that. And I'm gonna exit out of that. Okay. All right, guys. I think I'm at time. Um yeah, I just wanted to do a live. I haven't done a live forever, and I wanted to say hi and just keep you guys a little bit updated on what's been going on. Um, I have a couple of videos that I'm going to be posting very soon. Um, and I recently posted like I've been trying to do this thing on TikTok where I like video wise of like anime stuff that reminds me of like the occult or metaphysical stuff. And so if you like that stuff, check it out. I recently did a video on No Face. No Face is, I love No Face from Spirited Away, but I can see why people think that that character was creepy. So I did a video. Make sure to check it out if you want. Um, these stories are creepy. Yeah, they can be. Yeah, some of these stories on here, I'm like, what? Um, yeah, no, oh, this is an EP session. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm gonna go though. This was a lot of fun. But yeah, I will try to do another live later this week. I'm also gonna be doing a live stream on the YouTube channel on Snarled. Um, it's the something scary stuff that I do. I will try to go live on Monday to remind you guys if you want to join me on there. If not, no worries. This is a lot of fun. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys later this week. All right, bye guys. I'm gonna end my TikTok live and then I'm gonna end the YouTube side. All right, bye. Thank you for joining me on here.